Hermit Ducks, it's Simon here. Welcome back to the Hermit's Cave. It's early in the morning. It feels strange to be doing a video not in the evening, but I've got some car repairs and boring stuff to do today, and I have to wait for the service place to open. So I thought I would jump on because I had a little bit of a surprise this week. A couple of decks arrived from Red Feather, Schiffer, Red Feather. One is this deck, Lieselle's Eternal Tarot. The other is an Oracle, John D. Oracle. And they came out of the blue. In fact, they went to a previous address, and just because the post office know me so well, realised that the previous address was linked to me, and then put a card through my door, and I went down to the delivery office, that was the words, and picked them up. So it was a lovely surprise, and I know very little about this deck in particular, other than it's a pip deck, and it's what I would probably call the pippiest of pip decks, and that was something that really appealed to me. Now that's not to say, when I say pippiest of pip, I'm not referring to like Marseille pips or Thoth pips. I've really been drawn to pip decks that are very basic. I know I keep perhaps referring to this one, but this is one that I've really been enjoying recently, where they're not in a Marseille configuration, but they are pippy. This one is in black and white as well, and the artwork for the majors looks beautiful. So it's Lieselle's Eternal Tarot, trust your voice and then learn to trust the journey, as it says here on the side. The box is beautiful. It's split like this. Look at that. It's really nice. So you've got this kind of encasing here. Yeah, I mean, you could have this as a bit of like a little feature on your desk, couldn't you? Oh, the cards have slipped a little bit. I hope that's not done any damage. Nice chunky book, as you can see here. How many pages is it? 224. Wow. The creator, I mean, it's named after the creator, because Lieselle is Lieselle Elliot, who's a professional tarot reader, clairaudient and clairvoyant, with over 20 years experience of working with tarot. The artist is an artist called Sean Frosali. I hope that's how you pronounce his name. And as I mentioned, it's been published by, oh, it's beautiful this is. It's been published by Red Feather, which is part of Schiffer Publishing. So the format is pretty standard, in terms of it being a 78 card tarot deck. And as I said, it comes with this 224 page guidebook in this beautiful, it's one of the nicest boxes that I think I've seen. Really gorgeous, really like that. Again, you could stand cards in there, have them here, and then have one on display. There's possibilities are endless, but nice sturdy box from Red Feather. In terms of the book, it looks like it's pretty in depth. It looks like it's quite easy to read as well, particularly the layout. Let's go to a major arcana. So here we have the Devil. So we get a little bit about the card imagery, which I really like that in guidebooks. Talks about breaks down what you're seeing. So the ram's head, the chains, the lovers, the pillars, the black background. That's really useful. I really like that. And then meaning in a tarot reading. So it will go through control and dependency, bondage and limitation, shadow self, unhealthful patterns, awareness and liberation. And then you get a little bit here about the devil card serves as a powerful reminder, etc. And then you get a little bit about the reverse as well. So there's lots of information in the book, but I really like the breakdown of the imagery. That's something that I always think is a huge bonus, because it really goes into what the creator and artist's intention for the deck is, card by card, which is great. And I know if I'm looking at some of these images and I think, I wonder why they've depicted. So I'm looking here at the Fool, and look, it's got a blank face. So I wonder if we go to the Fool. Tells you that it's a jack in a box, the dog on the latch, the sun, the water. I don't know if it mentions about the face though. It's got about why there's white flowers. The Fool card symbolises new beginnings, unbridled optimism, and the courage to embark on a journey into the unknown. The imagery on this card highlights themes of innocence, spontaneity, and willingness to take risks. At the heart of the Fool card lies the joyful representation of a jack-in-the-box. This delightful figure embodies the essence of childlike wonder, reminding us of the unspoiled curiosity and untamed enthusiasm that often accompanies the beginning of a journey. Like the figure popping out the box, the Fool's approach to life with a carefree attitude and a willingness to embrace the unexpected. It doesn't necessarily go into why, but it does certainly explain the thought process behind the image and the details. Like, I love that the dog is actually kind of like part of the artwork, isn't it, on the front of the box. I'm going to enjoy reading this. This is going to be great. I'm thinking with the pips, we still do get, we might, obviously because it's pips, it's not talking about the scene, but you get things around meaning of, in a tarot reading, turnaround, acknowledgement, disappointment, shifting focus. But then you also get numerological significance, which is brilliant. So that's good. So really nice, chunky guidebook. All right, let's take the band off. I know I slipped one card out already. And we'll take a closer look at the deck. Okay, so these are the backs of the cards. They do look a little bit larger than a standard tarot card. So yeah, they are, look, they're a little bit taller and wider. I mean, they're really detailed and beautiful. I love this artwork on the back. I love this lemon skirt, and we've got the day and night, the polar opposites here. I love the feather and the flowers, and then the vines. Really, really lovely. It is it's monochrome art, and this is the second deck actually in 2 days, where I've shown a monochromatic art deck. But for me, I'm really drawn to them because they create depth and contrast, and really helps with, for me, focus, because there is a lot of detail in this. You can see it's gold gilt edges as well. It's a metallic yellow gold type. There are little flecks in there, little sparkles as well, which make it really nice. Cardstock is a dream. It's a matte finish. It's that nice matte cardstock. You can see there's no reflection. Really beautiful. Now this deck, I mean, when I was reading up about it, it mentioned it being kind of like RWS, and I think very often we'll hear that about decks, but maybe I think it's more, in my opinion, it more combines traditional tarot archetypes, perhaps with Lieselle's personal spiritual insights, and it's certainly not Marseille in as much as, you know, there are no illustrated minors. The courts are very different as well, as you'll see when we get to that. But yeah, there are little mantras in the deck as well when we get to the minors, which I think are great in terms of serving as a quick reference, kind of like an affirmation. But I think that will help people who usually when confronted with pips will just see the, you know, the number of batons or the number of coins and be at a loss. I think this deck will really help to spark intuition as well and help to connect with it. So we will start. So here's our fool. As we mentioned, it's a Jack in the Box. I love the little dog there lying amongst the flowers. Really beautiful, and it's like a court jester type fool with that hat. I guess for me the facelessness, I should say, is that sort of ageless, genderless, very unformed, just beginning on the journey. Here's our magician. He's epic. Very pagan vibes here. Again, we've got the Ouroboros here, swallowing his own tail, but forming this infinity, this lemna skirt. We've got the land here. Beautiful. The High Priestess. I love how the pomegranate here is cut into a peace symbol, which is quite beautiful. Got the triple moon. Wow, look at our Empress. Isn't that a beautiful image? And our Emperor. The detailing is exquisite. The ram's heads. And wow. Look at the Hierophant. I love the all-seeing eye here. So there's lots of symbolism within this card, and again the book really does unpack that. And you can see that each card has numerological, symbolic, plus intuitive meanings to work with. Wow, there's a whole universe within them. Chariot is beautiful. They're facing in opposite directions though. Look at that. And this comet really kind of signifying that speed, that movement. They just fly through the sky. Justice. The hand through the veil. I love that. And the measuring of the feather and the heart. The Hermit. Cool Wheel of Fortune. We have the water, the air, the earth, and the fire elements represented here. This mandala in the middle. And then nods to more traditional tarot interpretations. Oh, I love the Strength card. Look at this. I've only seen a couple of images. So this is a real surprise, some of them. That's cool. Wow. I think this deck really encourages self-trust. I think it's not a deck to be intimidated by. Just trust your inner voice when working with these cards. I mean, I'd say that a lot to people when they say, oh, I find a certain deck quite intimidating. Just trust yourself. You know, the tarot is a tool for you and reflects, you know, what you're experiencing in your world, particularly your internal world. Temperance. I'm really enjoying this. Look at the Devil. I often like to compare the Devil with our lovers. Yeah, it's the same, isn't it? Same people. Got a universe inside them now. They've just got this void. And rather than these kind of shards of light, you've got the chains coming down. Tower. I mean, the artwork can be detailed, but also quite simple, and this is really appealing to me. Oh, look at that. The newness of life. The world. Okay, so I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna pull the camera up a little bit because I'm gonna do these side by side, each suit. All right, so these look great, laid out side by side like this. I really like it. So as we know, the aces in numerology is about beginning, it's about potential, and I love how these are worded. As I said, there's a little bit of a mantra, if you like, for each card through the minor arcana, which again, as I don't want to keep repeating myself, but I really do feel that will help people with pip cards, because people still, a lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people struggle when confronted with pips. I know I did initially. My first deck was one JJ Swiss, and I used to take the minors out and just read with the major arcana, but I got over that in time and learned the basics of numerology, and that was a good starting point. So with that in mind, with you know, the ace one is about beginnings and potential, and we have because the one suit is all about action. So action on ideas. Everything starts with the idea, the thought, a new start from the heart, emotions, cups, new ideas. So we've got action on ideas because it's the fire suit, but new idea, it's the, again, it's the mind, it's the intellect, it's the sword suit. And then the new start, doing it in the physical realm, that beginning. I think it's brilliant. And we have the twos. Get ready, you know. We've got to make sure, twos is about balance, duality, polarity, but getting ready, you know. We've got the thought, the seed, if you like, and then we're now planting the seed. We're getting ready to take it forward on the same page. When you think about the two of cups as well, making sure there's that balance, that polarity there. going within the mind, going within the self, and then finding your balance. Ready, set, go. Do you just love the one suit? Joy. I mean, even, I know I was saying it's not RWS, but even when you think about the RWS, the three maidens with their corpse celebrating, it's about joy, isn't it? But in terms of numerology, it's about growth and expansion. I mean, that brings joy. So ready, set, go. Think of the arrowhead with the arrow and the points, the three, go in a new direction. Joy. Honor the pain. Think of the Three of Swords in the RWS, if you like. And you know, that heartbreak, but it's recognizing it, and it's enveloping it and working through it. And I love this Michelangelo moment. Again, I'm almost seeing the scenes from RWS, but yeah, that skill. And then we have the four: stability, order, structure, foundations, and stability. I love this. Snap out of it. Time out. When you think of the Four of Swords in the RWS, let go to grow. Let go. You think of the guy who's holding all the coins as well. So there is this sort of melding together of traditions with numerology, with you know, the elements, as well as other traditions. It's wonderful. I'm loving it. And then we find the challenge and change and disruption of 5. The competition. Turn around, focus, you know. Again, thinking of RWS, focusing on the spilt cups. Just turn around, see what's remaining, what's still standing. Picking your battles. You know, it's okay to have competition. It can be healthy. Some things just aren't worth your time and energy. On the outside, again, the 5 within the 5 of Pentacles, it would be within the RWS, on the outside of the warm glow of the building, out in the cold, wounded, battle scarred. This is brilliant for just working across different tarot traditions. 6 is about victory, isn't it? You know, and also about harmony, because we've had the destructive influence of the 5, and then comes that harmony, but not to become stagnant. You know, it's about, yeah, harmony and victory. And so we have our successes. We've come through. Just coming through the 5 is a success. Again, RWS, the 6 of cards, nostalgia is the word that springs to mind every time I turn and see that image. Calmer waters with the 6 of swords going, you know, on that boat. But again, that's about harmony and also victory. You're escaping the troubled past and heading in a new direction. And then we have give and take. When you think of, you know, the person who's giving out the coins, somebody, you know, an outstretched hand. I normally say as well when doing walkthroughs whether I think this is a deck for beginners or whether I think it's a deck for more experienced readers, collectors, historians, and I think this will appeal to, I think there'll be some people who are very traditional, And how can I say it? Or just say it? There are some people who like decks to be a certain way, and that's it. I'm all for whatever works, whatever brings people to tarot, and also removing any kind of obstacles or barriers. And sometimes cards with pips on that just say 7 of Swords and you've got 7 swords isn't necessarily helpful for beginners. So having these keywords and phrases, I just think will be really useful, but also great if you're learning the RWS as well. So we're at the 7 now, that new growth, but also inner conviction. And we have stand up for yourself. Think of that RWS image. Not everything that glitters is gold. Deception. Reflection. I like that. Particularly when we're thinking of our inner convictions. And then we have the 8s, which is, for me, it's about abundance and power. We've got forward motion here when you think of the 8 wands flying through the air. The right to walk away. Absolutely. Claim your power. Walk away. That's powerful. It's not weakness. Break free. I love this arrangement. And then hone your craft. You can just see him there working away, can't you? The 9, attainment. Also evolution. Keep going. We might attain, but you don't then just stand still. You have to keep going. Enjoy the moment. Yeah, count your blessings. Look at what's around you. And why do we attain things, you know? It's personal goals and achievement markers, isn't it? But also to pause and enjoy the moments that you find yourself in. Awake at 3 a.m. So there's humour in this as well, isn't there? What would we'll very often call the nightmare card, you know, the image of the person awake, in bed, with the swords hanging over, awake at 3 a.m. And here we have independence. Yeah, I mean, to attain independence is an abundant life, isn't it? And then we have the 10, which is completion. It's unity. It's wholeness. And, you know, the cycle begins again. The uphill struggle. You're at the top. You've achieved the summit. Your wishes are fulfilled. Emotional fulfillment. All over, Red Rover. Cheeky swords. And I do get why some people struggle with RWS and numerology. I can make links. Sometimes I might think they're a little bit tenuous, but all over. But, you know, sometimes if we're thinking about completion, sometimes you really do have to be at rock bottom. And we've all been there, haven't we? And if we've survived it, then we're all the better for it. We're stronger for it. So what I love about the RWS image is that night sky, you know, and I'm reminded of the phrase, the night is at its darkest before the dawn, and you see the dawn coming. And all over Red Rover, but that's temporary, that's for now, because 10 tells us that something ends, the completion. But then, you know, everything in life, in nature, is cyclical. So again, we build ourselves back up. And remember, we're talking of the intellect, we're talking of the mind, and sometimes it might be over. That burden might be there that we saw in the 9 as well, but okay, let's sit with that, let's work through it, and let's move on. The big picture. I love this deck. I really love it. I'm going to love working with it. Okay, so the courts are a little bit different. They're represented by the suit, i.e. the element, and also headwear. So we have the page's cap, if you like, and then we have these mantras, these expressions, creative expression, open yourself to love, use your head, and curious exploration. Again, all from if we think of the courts, very often, I used to find it helped me anyway, but very often people refer to them as like a family unit, and also to do with youth and age and experience, and you know, it starts with that creative expression. It's about opening yourself to love, using your head, and then that curiousness for exploring the earth, the world, the material plane. And then we have the night energy, and we have represented here with the knight armor helmet, the adventurer, an offer, forging forward valiantly, and dedication and focus. And then we have the queens, lust for life, heart wisdom, brilliant, the heart of the matter, think it through, and then the groundedness of the queen. And then we have our king, and we've got this imperial type of crown here, and creative leadership, emotional maturity, lead with truth, and then we have structured power. This is brilliant. Really brilliant. Thank you, Red Feather, guys over at Schiffer, for sending me this. Some closing remarks. I do think this deck, as I said, encourages self-trust. Trust yourself with it. Don't be fearful of it. Listen to your inner voice when working with it. I think it's a deck for spiritual growth and development. And just, you know, focus on the learning when working with decks like this. Trust your journey, trust your journey of developing your intuition with confidence. I do think it's suitable for both beginners and experienced readers. Absolutely. Look at the sound these cards make. I think it's a modern yet traditional. Sorry, I had an interruption there, so I'll just finish this off. But yeah, I do think, you know, as I was saying, it is a modern deck, but it's also traditional in the sense that, you know, it is honouring like the RWS in particular, even with the keywords in the non-illustrated liners. I do think it would really work well for working with this deck in ways like sitting, particularly with the majors, some of the detailed images, and just focus on mindfulness and inner guidance. I think the mantras, if you like, if you want to call it that, add a layer of affirmation and personal reflection, which I like too. And I think it could appeal to readers who enjoy simplicity, clarity, as well as, you know, spiritual connection. That's one of the reasons why I was drawn to it, is that sort of simplicity and clarity. So yeah. We have the nostalgia card, the 6. 6 is that beautiful energy of harmony, but also it's reminding us of a time where things were less complicated, and it's reminding us to enjoy the simple pleasures of life and to become more at peace and reflective and enjoy those fond memories and take something from that. You know, what was it that we really enjoyed about that time in our life, and how can we imbue that energy now, particularly when life becomes a little bit more challenging. All right, let me know your thoughts on this deck. I'm really surprised, pleasantly surprised. I really enjoy decks like this that are quite different to bring into my collection, and I think I'm going to get some really good readings, some good clear readings from this. And the cardstock is, you know, if you're watching Red Feather, this cardstock is your best, absolutely. All right, thanks for watching, everyone, and until next time, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.